Hi, everyone. I'm Ali Sweeney. I am so excited to be with you this morning. We're going to give it a couple moments while everybody joins in. I see some people who are starting to be regulars, and I love that. And I know there's lots of new people who always are joining us and finding us. All are welcome here. My name is Ali Sweeney, and I'm a transformation specialist. So that's what I help people do is create the change in their lives that they're longing for. I do that with intuition. I do that through meditation. And a big part of what I do is heart coherence. So if you are someone who wants to live from the heart, who chooses to live from the heart, but maybe doesn't have the space to feel like they can fully be like yourselves, this is the place. So, welcome. I am going to put a link in the chat to a 7-day free trial for the Heart Coherence Collaborative community. It is a relatively small group, maybe 300 or so people who are choosing to live from the heart. And the support and the power that I see in this community is really inspiring. So if that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to check out that link and see if it's something that would be a fit for you. Today, we're going to spend the next half an hour contemplating and meditating in the frequency of freedom. So when I say freedom, what happens in your body? Pop it in the chat just for this part. We're going to talk a little bit about the frequency of freedom before we get into our meditation. So what does freedom feel like in your body? For me, it puts a smile on my face. Like I get really excited about the idea of freedom. What does freedom feel like for you, though? Can you feel it? Is it subtle? Is it like I just got bowled over by freedom? What is the sensation of freedom? And do you want more of it? Is there space for more freedom in your life? Yeah, so some of the chats are coming in. They say it lights me up. I agree. That's how I feel too. Living in the flow makes me sing and dance. Wow, that is a fun manifestation of freedom. Makes you feel like you want more, more, more. I know, I feel like that too. I always want more freedom. So let's talk about freedom a little bit. Oh, and somebody else is chiming in about how great the community is, and it feels like a supportive family. So that's beautiful. That touches my heart. So I hope if you're looking for something like that, that you will check it out in that link. Let's move on to talking a little bit about freedom. So sometimes freedom is about a perspective change. I remember when I was a young mom with 2 tiny kids and I couldn't sleep because they didn't sleep, and I was breastfeeding and I was taking care of everything because they were little. I remember just wanting some freedom in that life. And what I realized was I didn't want freedom from being a mom. Being a mom has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. I didn't want to get rid of my kids, and I didn't want to not be a mom. But I needed to change my perspective so that I could find the freedom in being a mom. And so maybe your journey with freedom right now is about that perspective change. Maybe it's about something that you really don't actually want to change, but there's something about it that you've forgotten your why, or it feels monotonous and like drudgery. And bringing that perspective change of where can I find freedom in this situation might be all that you need. right? So, something to consider where just a simple perspective change could change how you feel about whatever is feels a little bit like a trap. Like maybe you don't have the freedom that you want. Now, other times when we feel trapped, it's because we're not in the life that we want. So that's something else that we're going to look at today, right? Where are you trapped? Is there a place that you could bring awareness and by what? Is there some place to admit where you're not aligned with your values and where you're maybe unconsciously choosing out of that alignment and creating that trapped feeling? Now, if that's the case, then what if you became responsible for changing the circumstance? I know that can feel really scary. Right? You want me to actually change this thing that I hate? I do. Because you deserve that. Right? And sometimes when we get to that, we say, oh, but I haven't done it before, so I'm not going to do it now. And it's really not about comparing what you haven't done up until now. It's about deciding that from this day forward, I am no longer going to do this. An example of this might be feeling trapped by other people's expectations. So imagine that you could just decide that actually you're going to live your life, not for other people's expectations, and not to be trapped by those expectations in your life because it's your life. So hopefully that's making some sense, right? And when you do decide that this is something that you actually want to change, then in what ways can you start to change it? And some of us get stuck at this point because if we can't see the full end, like what is the absolute end point of how we are going to do it, then we don't start. But what I encourage everyone to do is to commit to starting. All you have to do is know the very next step. You don't have to know the full end. That in itself is a trap that is keeping you from your freedom. You actually are open to many more possibilities with the co-creation of the universe if you don't know exactly what it looks like at the end. So feel into that idea of maybe just taking the next step and not having to have all the steps. And see if that could help move you from a place of I'm trapped and there's nothing that I can do about it to welcoming in that idea of freedom to choose what it is you actually really want in this life. Now, I get it. Some of you, as we talk about this, there's probably fear rising because that's what happens when we talk about change. We often forget this, right? But our bodies are just instinctively wired to alarm when we're faced with change. Doesn't matter if it's the change that gives us the freedom that we're so desiring in our lives. It's just that our body goes, that's change. Ah, right? So if you're feeling that fear at all, tell yourself, find some compassion and say, oh my gosh, makes so much sense that I'm afraid, right? I've never done this before, or my life might totally change as a result of this. And that can be kind of scary. But I know that the change that I'm headed for is the change that I'm ready for and the change that I want. And just see if that can help settle some of that fear and the prospect of change. Because if you tap into that feeling of freedom again, what that would feel like to be free of whatever it is that you might be imagining is here, what you're actually living, then I want you to feel into that frequency of freedom. And I bet you would decide that it's worth it. It's worth it to go through this spot to get to that freedom. So feel free to pop any questions into the chat. I feel someone saying their throat chakra is not open. And so maybe just take your attention to your throat and let it be okay that there's a block there. And just feel into the block for a moment before you move on. Freedom is a mindset. It can be, but we can change our circumstances to also have more freedom. I really believe that it is a both and. That if there are places in your life where you just need that mindset change, that perspective change, fabulous. Do that. And if there are other places where you could change your circumstances to live a more free life as you, I want you to do that too. And I want you to know that you can. Okay, so let's get started into our meditation today. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to settle into wherever your body is resting on. So if you're on a floor or in a chair, on a bed, I want you to feel the support that's available to you. And just let your body release into that support. And I want you to bring all of your attention to your body this morning. It is going to give you all kinds of cues, all kinds of information today. So I want you to just start at the top of your head. Bring all of your attention to the top of your head. And what does it feel like there? What do you notice about the sensations at the top of your head? What do you notice behind your eyes? How about into your jaw? Let's move into the throat. Bringing all of your attention to the words you speak, to the words you hear. See if you can let go of the outer world of this and be truly in your body. So maybe noticing the backs of your shoulder blades, down into your arms. You're really just strengthening the observer muscle. What does your clothes feel like on your body? See if you're still with me. You're noticing your body. See if there's a part of your body that's calling out to you for attention, and take your attention there. Feel into that. Noticing what it is your body wants you to know about this spot. And now I want you to bring your attention to your belly. Noticing what's here for you. What does it feel like? Are you relaxed? Are you tense? And now I want you to follow that beautiful breath of yours straight into the heart. And just noticing what you notice in your heart this morning. Just being in the heart. Maybe this is the first time today that you've noticed the heart. How beautiful. Now, the frequency of freedom is available to you from the universe, from all of us focusing on freedom. See if you can open your heart to the frequency of freedom. It is here for you. So even if it's subtle, it's here. And you're just noticing what you notice. What do you notice about the frequency of freedom in your heart space? See if you can name some qualities, just like we were naming what it felt like for freedom. See if you can name what this feels like. Is it subtle? Is it intense? Is it slow? Is it fast? There is freedom here for each of you in this moment. If you find yourself comparing it to other moments or to what other people might experience of freedom, be here with yourself instead. What do you feel in this moment? There is no problem. Whatever is here for you is the experience. Let's have freedom to have whatever this experience is. This is the one you are meant to have right now. Judgment is optional. Now, if there is a place where you feel trapped or not free, what action could you take from the truth that freedom is available to you? What would you change? What would you do? Consider what action you could start with. Let yourself really embody this feeling of freedom and listen for that next step. Now, one of the most beautiful things about meditating in a group is that often the feeling of the vibration, the frequency is amplified. So I want you to let yourself imagine the community of people in this meditation with you. Typically, there's about 900 or 1,000 people. Now, I just want you to imagine all of us in a circle with the frequency of freedom flowing to us and through us and for us. See if you can lean into that connection and how the feeling of freedom is amplified because you are no longer alone. We are all here with you and you with us. If you've moved into that scene and away from your body, bring yourself back. Maybe place a hand on your heart, reminding yourself of this heart space, ready and available for you whenever you'd like to acknowledge it. Find another breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, stretch your body, be really proud of yourself for choosing to meditate today. I am so proud of you. Thank you for being here. I know it can be fun, but it can also be challenging to sit in the frequency of freedom. And you all did it. I'm so very proud of you. Welcome back. If anybody wants to share what their next step is, make it a little bit more real, maybe something that you can commit to, please put it in the chat. We'd love to support you in that. I am going to put a link into the chat. It is for a new class that I'm starting in September. It's called Mastering the Brain Game. And if this resonated with you about how you might be able to change your life based on what it is you want to create in it, then I highly recommend Mastering the Brain Game. It was created by Matt and Joy Kahn. As soon as I took it, it was like I had all these pieces of these teachings, and the structure of the brain game really put it into place for me so that I could change my life. And so as soon as it was possible, I started teaching it. And so I welcome you into that if that sounds of interest. There's going to be a live session on August 12th to answer any of your questions, but go ahead and check it out in that link. I Live for Freedom is in the chat. Oh, that sounds amazing. We've got refreshing, learn to forgive yourself. Yes, Matt and Joy are incredible. Oh, it is my pleasure, everyone, to be here with you and to be a part of this community and to bring these frequencies and help you remember that they are available and ready for you in the heart as soon as you are ready to live from the heart. And I know that sometimes that can be challenging. So lean in, right? If you're finding that block and you're not sure to get how to get through, we're here. And so I'm Ali Sweeney. You can find me at A Light Insight. And if you have any questions, pop them into the chat. But otherwise, I want to send you off in freedom into your day. So have a wonderful week, everyone. I will be back here on Sunday at 11 Eastern Time. I will see you then. Bye, everybody.